Have you ever walked into your kitchen, opened the fridge, and thought, what should I be eating at this age to actually protect my health? You're not alone. After 60, the choices we make especially, the ones we make every single day, like what we eat, can quietly shape how well we live, how strong we stay, and even how long we're around to enjoy the people we love. And while some diseases seem to sneak up out of nowhere, colon cancer is one that can often be nudged away with something as simple as your next meal. Yes, I know, it sounds almost too easy. But the truth is, your plate might be one of the most powerful tools you have. You see, colon cancer isn't just some far-off worry. It's one of the most common cancers in older adults. But here's the hopeful part. Research keeps showing us that food really can be medicine, especially when it comes to your gut. Some of the best protectors against colon cancer are already sitting quietly in grocery stores, maybe even in your kitchen right now. And the best part? These aren't exotic superfoods flown in from halfway across the world. These are everyday, easy-to-find foods and drinks that work like silent guardians for your gut. So, in this video, we're going to have a heart-to-heart about 6 of them. 6 simple things you can add to your day that may actually help lower your risk of colon cancer without fancy supplements, without expensive powders, and without turning your life upside down. Think of it as a friendly tour through your pantry with someone who cares about your health just as much as you do. Let's start with one of the simplest, most overlooked allies in the fight against colon cancer: yogurt. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Yogurt? Really? That little cup of creamy stuff? But hear me out. Yogurt, especially the kind with live and active cultures, is packed with probiotics. Those are the good bacteria that help balance the delicate ecosystem in your gut. As we age, the balance of bacteria in our digestive system can shift, especially after taking antibiotics or dealing with chronic health issues. When the gut's balance is off, inflammation can creep in. List is one that's not only delicious, it's also deeply satisfying. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, they're more than just pretty on your plate. They're packed with antioxidants. Let's keep this going, because there's more you can do, and the next one might just surprise you. Let's talk about a drink you probably already have in your kitchen, or at least see every time you pass the tea aisle at the store. Green tea. Yes. That humble little bag you steep in hot water holds more power than it lets on. Green tea is rich in catechins, especially one called epigallocatechin. Gallate, don't worry, you don't need to remember that mouthful. Just know that this compound is a heavy hitter when it comes to fighting cancer. Studies have shown that catechins can help slow the growth of cancer cells, reduce inflammation, and even support the repair of damaged DNA. That's like having a mechanic for your cells, working behind the scenes while you sip something warm and comforting. Now here's the beauty of it. You don't need to drink a gallon a day. 1 or 2 cups maybe with your breakfast, maybe in the afternoon instead of coffee, is enough to begin seeing benefits. And if you're not a fan of the taste, try adding a slice of lemon or a bit of honey. Just steer clear of loading it up with sugar, since that kind of defeats the purpose. But green tea doesn't just fight cancer cells directly, it also helps reduce what's called insulin resistance. And why does that matter? Because people with higher insulin levels, or type 2 diabetes, are at increased risk for just about every study that looks at foods that fight colon cancer. Here's why they work. First, fiber. We've mentioned it before, but it's worth repeating. Fiber helps clean your colon like a gentle broom, sweeping waste through your system and making sure it doesn't hang around too long. Second, the fermentation of the fiber in beans produces, you guessed it, butyrate, that powerful anti-cancer compound we talked about earlier. Third, beans are also low on the glycemic index, which means they help keep your blood sugar steady. And as we just covered, keeping insulin levels low and stable can reduce your overall cancer risk. It's all connected. You don't need to overhaul your whole menu. Add half a cup of beans to your soup. Toss some chickpeas into a salad. Make a simple lentil stew. If beans give you digestive trouble, Start with small portions and build up slowly. Your gut will adjust over time, especially when you're feeding it all these good things. Now, I know some folks grew up thinking of beans as poor man's food. But let me tell you something. They're brain food, heart food, and colon food. In some of the healthiest and longest living populations in the world, beans are eaten daily. There's a reason for that. And here's something sweet to close out today's chat, something you probably enjoy already. Dark chocolate. Wait, chocolate? Really? Yes, dark chocolate, in moderation, can be a surprising ally. It's loaded with polyphenol, which are plant compounds that have antioxidant properties. And those antioxidants, they help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, two of the big drivers behind cancer development. But here's the key. Not all chocolate is created equal. We're talking about dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content. Skip the candy bars and the milk chocolate with caramel fillings. What you want is that rich, slightly bitter square of real dark chocolate. 1 or 2 small pieces a few times a week is enough. Think of it as your treat with a purpose. It's satisfying, it's indulgent, and best of all, you don't have to feel guilty about it. In fact, you can feel proud, knowing that even your dessert is doing a little good for your body. So now, imagine this, a breakfast of plain yogurt with berries, a cup of green tea mid-morning, a lentil soup for lunch, a banana for your afternoon snack, a light dinner with some beans tossed into your salad or main dish, and a small square of dark chocolate before bed. That doesn't sound like punishment. That sounds delicious. It sounds doable. And it sounds like a way to quietly, gently, and powerfully protect your health day after day, without any drama, without turning your life upside down. You're not just eating to stay full. You're eating to stay well. And that shift from eating to survive to eating to thrive is what makes all the difference after 60. Because this chapter of your life deserves all the energy, comfort, and joy you can squeeze from it. And these foods, they're not magic. They're just wise choices. Easy choices. Available to you right now. Let's keep going, because your journey to better health doesn't stop here. There's still more you can do to give your body the best fighting chance. And now that you've already welcomed yogurt, green bananas, berries, green tea, beans, and even dark chocolate into your day, let's take a closer look at one more drink that's been quietly building a reputation for its gut-loving, cancer-fighting benefits: red wine. Yes, you heard that right. But before you reach for the corkscrew, let's talk about what makes it special and how to enjoy it wisely. Red wine contains a powerful antioxidant called resveratrol, found in the skin of red grapes. And research has shown that resveratrol may help slow down the growth of cancer cells, including those in the colon. It's been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation, protect against cell damage, and even help regulate how your body processes fats and sugars. But, and this is important, more doesn't mean better. The magic is in moderation. For most people, that means no more than 1 glass a day. And if you don't drink alcohol or prefer not to, don't worry. You can still get resveratrol from other sources like grapes, blueberries, and even peanuts. The idea here isn't to encourage drinking for the sake of it. It's about recognizing that, in small amounts, certain things from nature, like fermented grapes, can have health benefits. But it always comes back to balance. If wine is something you enjoy, then a single glass with dinner a few times a week could be both pleasurable and beneficial. Just be sure it's part of an overall healthy lifestyle, not a shortcut. Now let's take a step back and look at the big picture. Because here's the thing, each of these foods and drinks we've talked about works in a slightly different way. Some help sweep waste out of your system. Others reduce inflammation. Some repair damage at the cellular level. And some feed the good bacteria in your gut so they can do their job better. But together, they form a kind of gentle daily shield. A quiet, consistent line of defense that supports your body every single day. And that's the power of eating with intention, not fear, not guilt, just intention. It doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require expensive ingredients or hard-to-follow diets. It just requires paying attention and being kind to your body. And the good news is, it's never too late to start. Your gut doesn't care how old you are. It only cares about what you give it today. So maybe tomorrow, instead of reaching for processed cereal, you try yogurt with berries. Maybe you swap your soda for green tea. Maybe you toss some lentils into your soup or add a handful of beans to your salad. These are tiny shifts, but they're powerful ones. Because every bite tells your body, I care. And while we can't control everything in life, we do get a say in what we put on our fork. That's a freedom worth embracing. Especially now, especially when your health becomes less about chasing energy and more about preserving the life you've built, the people you love, and the joy you still want to experience. You've lived through decades of change, hardship, laughter, and growth. You've earned the right to feel strong, clear-headed, and in control of your health. And believe it or not, it starts with something as simple as what's in your fridge. So here's to your colon, yes. Your colon, a part of the body we don't talk about enough, but should honor every day. It works hard for you. Let's return the favor with foods that support, nourish, and protect it. Because you deserve to feel good in your own body. You deserve energy, comfort, and peace of mind. And if a few daily choices can help you hold on to all of that for longer, why not start now? Let's keep moving forward together. Because the goal here isn't just to avoid disease. The real goal is to stay vibrant, independent, and full of life. And these foods, they're a gentle nudge in that direction day after day, one bite at a time. So go ahead, open that fridge, check your pantry. Your next step toward better health could already be sitting right there, waiting for you to pick it up. Take a bite and say to yourself, I'm doing this for me. You've got this. And your body? It's still listening. Always has been. So here we are, after this little journey through the kitchen past the berries and bananas, the beans and yogurt, the green tea, and that quiet square of dark chocolate. Maybe you're looking around now, thinking, this isn't so hard. I can do this. And you'd be right. The beautiful truth is, protecting your colon, protecting your life, doesn't require massive change. It doesn't mean giving up everything you love. It doesn't mean counting every calorie or following some trendy diet with fancy powders and impossible rules. It means coming back to the basics. Trusting that your body still responds to kindness, to care, to nourishment. Because it does. Even after 60, even after 70, even if you've had years of eating habits you're not proud of, your body is always ready to heal, always ready to thrive if you give it the tools. And the tools don't need to be complicated. Sometimes it's just saying yes to a handful of berries instead of a processed snack. Or choosing water or tea instead of soda. Or tossing a spoonful of beans into your soup. Because you know it's doing something good for you. These are small acts, yes, but they're acts of love, of self-respect. And that's powerful. You see, as we get older, the world tends to focus on what we can't do, what we've lost, what's slowing down. But I want you to remember something. There is still so much within your control. You have wisdom now. You have perspective. You've lived through things younger folks can't even imagine. And you have the strength not just to survive, but to shape the quality of the life you're still living. This isn't about fear. This isn't about avoiding disease just for the sake of it. This is about living well. About being able to walk a little farther, laugh a little louder, sleep a little deeper. About sitting down at the table with your grandchildren and knowing that you're doing everything in your power to be there for the next meal and the one after that. And if you're someone who's faced health challenges already, maybe a colonoscopy with a few scary words, maybe a family history of colon cancer, don't let that make you feel defeated. Let it wake you up. Let it empower you. You're not powerless here. Food is one of the few medicines you get to choose every single day. And that choice can change everything. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, ask yourself one simple question. How can I feed myself in a way that loves me back? Because that's what food should do. It should love you back. It should fuel your body, protect your cells, calm your gut, give you energy, and make you feel nourished, not just full. And when you share a meal with someone, your spouse, your friend, your kids, pass this knowledge along. Not with judgment or pressure, but with care. Tell them what you've learned. Show them what's on your plate. You never know who might need to hear it. And maybe, just maybe, your decision to eat a little better today will ripple outward, touching the lives of people you love more than anything. Because when you take care of yourself, you're not just extending your life, you're deepening the quality of the years ahead. You're saying yes to more sunsets, more birthdays, more conversations at the kitchen table. You're saying yes to presence. And presence is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself and to others. So what do you say? Let's make that next grocery trip a little more intentional. Let's start treating that quiet yogurt cup or that morning tea as a form of self-respect. Let's stop underestimating the power of what's already in our hands. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to begin. And keep going, one small step at a time. If this message resonated with you, if you're feeling just a little more hopeful or a little more motivated to make a change, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Tell us which of these foods you already enjoy or which one you're going to try next. Your story might just inspire someone else to take that first step. And if you found value here today, hit that like button. It helps us reach more people just like you. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep bringing you helpful, heartfelt content that supports you through every stage of life. Because you deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel well. You deserve to live with dignity, joy, and the energy to do the things that matter most. So here's to you, to your health, to your resilience, and to the power of 6 simple choices that can truly make a difference. Take care of yourself. Your body is still listening, and it's never too late to love it back.